Hello mga sisi! Welcome back to my channel. Now before we start, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, Ruthie and Stitch. Hit that notification bell para updated kayo pag may bago tayong videos and tutorials. You may also leave a message on the comment box below as I would love to hear from you. You may also follow me and send me direct messages on my Instagram and FB page, Ruthie and Stitch. Feel free to tag with photos of your work and I would love to see them. Ang project natin ngayon ay ang Winnie the Pooh baby onesie. This fits for 6 to 9 months old. At ang mga materials na gagamitin natin ay 100 grams of red milk cotton yarn and 150 grams yellow milk cotton yarn. We're also going to use the number 5 crochet hook, 10 grams of white fine cotton yarn, scissors, at 3 pieces of buttons. Now let's start working with our Winnie the Pooh baby onesie. You can also make a beanie and a shoes, and I'll put the link below on how to make the baby booty. Now to start, we're going to use our red yarn, make a slip knot, and then chain 62 or make 62 chains. Now, once you're done with the 62 chains, pag meron na tayong 62 chains, we're going to start with our first row. So, to make our first row, we're going to start on the third chain from the hook, make 8 1 double crochet on each stitch. So we're going to make that 8 double crochet, and then once na complete na natin yung 8 na double crochet, we're going to do our first corner stitch. So for this project, ang ating corner stitch ay 2 double crochet plus chain 1 plus another 2 double crochet, all on the same stitch. Now, once na-complete na natin yung ating first corner stitch, we're going to make 1 double crochet on each stitch 10 times or 10 double crochet in total. So after our 10 double crochet stitch, we're going to make another corner stitch. So again, yung ating corner stitch ay 2 double crochet plus chain 1 plus another 2 double crochet, all on the same stitch. Now, once na natapos na natin yung ating second na corner stitch, we're going to make another 1 double crochet on each stitch. And this time, 20 stitches ang gagawin natin or 20 double crochet in total. So after nating 20 double crochet, gagawa ulit tayo ng corner stitch. So 2 double crochet plus chain 1 plus another 2 double crochet, all on the same stitch. So, natapos na natin yung ating third corner stitch. Gagawa ulit tayo ng 10 na 1 double crochet on each stitch. Actually, nasa corner stitch pa lang pala tayo. So, corner stitch. Alam nyo na yan. 2 double crochet plus chain 1 plus 2 double crochet. All on the same stitch. And then, yung ating last 8 stitches na double crochet. So, to start our second row, mag-chain 2 tayo, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch. Now, every time na marireach natin yung chain 1 space, doon lang tayo maglalagay ng corner stitch. So, ulitin lang natin ating corner stitch pag narating natin yung ating chain 1 space. And then, itutuloy lang natin yung 1 double crochet on each stitch. So, for each row, magkakaroon tayo ng 4 corner stitch. So, ito yung ating second chain 1 space. Maglalagay kayo ng corner stitch dyan. And then, double crochet ulit, pababa. And then, pagdating dito sa third chain 1 space, ganun ulit ang gagawin. Same with the fourth chain 1 space. And then, double crochet hanggang dulo. So, ganito ang magiging itsura niya. Magiging siyang rectangle shape. And then, uulitin lang natin siya hanggang magkaroon tayo ng total of 5 rows. So, once na-complete na natin yung 5 rows, we're going to start our 6th row. At gagawa na tayo ng armhole natin. Tapos na natin yung yoke natin, so gagawin na natin ating armhole. So, chain 2 to start, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung ating first chain 1 space. Pag narating na natin yung ating chain 1 space, ang gagawin natin ay ifo-fold natin yung ating yoke. Ifo-fold natin siya para magkadikit o mag-overlap yung first and second chain 1 space, and then isi-stitch natin sila together using 1 double crochet. So, kung makikita nyo, ni-stitch ko yung dalawang chain 1 space. So, this will create your first armhole, and then itutuloy lang natin yung 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating naman natin yung third na chain 1 space. And then, pag narating natin tong third chain 1 space, ulitin lang natin yung ginawa natin sa kabilang side to create the armhole, and then 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung dulo. So, ito na yung magiging itsura niya pag natapos nyo na yung row 6. So, we're going to start with our row 7. So, chain 2, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung dulo ng ating row. Once na tapos na natin yung ating row 7 and 8, 2 rows na gagawin natin yan, ang gagawin na natin yung ating connection. Iko-connect na natin siya. So, bubuuin na natin yung body. Connect natin siya dun sa on top of the first double crochet of the row, and then lock and cut the excess yarn. Now, we're going to start with our row 9. Gagamitin natin yung ating yellow yarn, make a slip knot, and then hanapin natin yung pinaka last na stitch ng previous row, and then gagamitin lang natin yung back loop doon natin siya i-connect. Slip stitch natin siya. And then chain 2. And we're going to just make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin ang dulo ng ating row, but only use the back loop of row 8. So, yung back loop lang ang gagamitin natin. Iiwan natin yung front loop. So, gawin natin yan hanggang marating natin yung pinakadulo and then i-connect lang natin ulit. So, narating na natin yung dulo. I-slip stitch natin on top of that first double crochet para ma-connect yung ends. And then from row 10 to row 21, we're going to chain 2 to start. And then just make 1 double crochet on each stitch. One double crochet on each stitch, paikot hanggang marating natin yung dulo. So this is from row 10 to row 21, uulitin lang natin yung same pattern. So natapos na natin yung row 21, i-connect na natin yung last row natin. So, slip stitch on top of that first double crochet, lock, and then cut the excess yarn. So, ganyan na magiging itsura niya. Now, nagawa ko na yung sleeve ng isang part at gagawin natin yung kabila later. But first, lagyan natin ng marker yung dalawang side sa baba, yung lower part ng ating onesie. So, get a stitch marker. So, in this case, gumamit lang ako ng piece of yarn. And then, itatay ko. Hanapin nyo lang yung pinaka side stitch sa baba. Ganyan lang. So, mas madali siya kaysa magbibilang pa tayo. And later on, we're going to work on this lower part. But first, let's work on our sleeve. So, kuha tayo ng ating red yarn. And make a slip knot. Now, hanapin natin yung chain 1 space doon sa ating sleeve. Kung saan natin kinonect yung ating armhole. Yan. Hanapin natin siya. And then, doon lang din natin i-slip stitch yung ating slip knot. Slip stitch lang tayo. And then, chain 2. Now, gagawin lang natin 1 double crochet on each stitch paikot ng ating armhole. So, once na natapos na natin yung ating first row para sa ating sleeve, i-connect lang natin. Place a slip stitch on top of that first double crochet of the row para madugtong natin. And then, we're going to start with our second row, chain 2, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch. Paikot hanggang marating natin yung dulo ng ating row. And then, i-connect lang ulit natin siya. So, i-connect na natin yung ating second row, slip stitch, and then we're going to either, you have an option here, you can either use a single crochet or a half double crochet. So in this case, gumamit ako ng half double crochet. So you can chain 2 and then make 1 row of half double crochet, then lock and cut the excess yarn. So gagawin na natin yung ating lower part ng shirt ni Pooh. So kuha ulit tayo ng red na yarn, make a slip knot, and then hanapin natin yung last stitch ng row 8 o yung iniwan nating front loop. Kung naaalala nyo, may front loop tayong iniwan, so slip stitch natin doon, chain 2, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch ng front loop na naiwan natin. So once natapos na natin yan, i-connect natin using a slip stitch on top of that first double crochet. And then gagawin lang ulit natin siya for another row. So chain 2, make 1 double crochet on each stitch, paikot hanggang marating natin ang dulo ng ating row. And then connect the ends using a slip stitch on top of that first double crochet. Now, maglalagay na tayo ng ating edging para sa ating shirt. So chain 1, make 1 single crochet on each stitch, paikot hanggang marating natin yung ating first single crochet for the row. So slip stitch on top of that first single crochet and lock and cut the excess yarn. Gagawin natin yung bottom part ng ating onesie. So we're going to use the yellow yarn, make a slip knot, and then yung back part muna ang gagawin natin. Hanapin natin yung ating first stitch marker, and doon natin ilagay yung ating slip knot, i-slip stitch natin doon. So kakalasin ko lang to. And then i-slip stitch ko. And then make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung ating second stitch marker. So yung back part ang lalagyan natin ng stitch, ha. So sa back part muna tayo mag-start. Now, once na natapos na natin ang ating first row, we're going to turn and then magdi-decrease tayo sa start at end ng ating row. Skip the first stitch and then make 1 single crochet on the second stitch plus chain 1, kaya nyan, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung third stitch to the last row. O alam nyo na yun, basta yung third stitch to the last row of the row ang gagawin natin. And then for the last 2 stitches, gagawa tayo ng decrease o 2 double crochet together. So ulitin natin. Okay, for the next row, turn. And then skip the first stitch, make a single crochet on the next stitch plus chain 1, and then 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung kabilang dulo except for the last 2 stitches. At yung last 2 stitches, gagawin natin yung decrease. So, uulitin natin siya. And then, uulitin natin tong same pattern na to ng 6 more times. Now, after nating magawa yun, sorry, medyo mabilis. So, chain 2 ulit tayo and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch. Okay, for the whole row. And then, uulitin natin to ng 3 times. So, magkakaroon tayo ng 3 rows ng 1 double crochet on each stitch. Walang increase, walang decrease. Okay. Then, once na natapos na natin yan, lock and cut the excess yarn. So, i-work na natin yung ating front para sa ating onesie. So, first, okay, you have to look for the 5th stitch from the side. So, gagawin nyo, bilang kayo ng 5 stitches, pag galing kayo sa dulo ng side, and then put a marker, gaya ng ginawa ko dito. So, sa kabilang side, ganun din ang gagawin natin. Count 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then put a marker on it. Now, kukunin natin yung ating yellow yarn ulit. Make a slip knot. And then, slip stitch natin kung nasan yung ating first stitch marker. Slip stitch natin siya. And then, chain 2 to start and make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung ating second na stitch marker. So, mas mabilis actually matapos kapag yung milk cotton yarn ang ginamit natin. Mas makapal kasi yung ating yarn. Now, once na natapos na natin o naabot na natin yung second stitch marker, kailang natin tong last double crochet natin. So, ganyan na siya. Now, what we're going to do is use the same pattern. Magdi-decrease tayo sa start at end ng each row. So, skip, turn, and then skip the first stitch. Make single crochet on the next stitch plus chain 1, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang sa kaduluhan ng ating row except for the last 2 stitches of the row. So, pag narating na natin yung last 2 stitches ng row, maglalagay lang tayo ng 2 double crochet together o decrease na double crochet. And uulitin natin siya ng 5 more times. So, once na natapos na natin yung ating decrease row, mag-chain 2 ulit tayo, and then turn, and make 1 double crochet on each stitch, hanggang marating natin yung dulo ng ating row. Now, once na natapos na natin, uulitin lang natin siya ng 2 more times. So, magkakaroon din tayo ng 3 rows ng no decrease. Once na na-complete na natin, gagawin natin yung ating edging. So, chain 1. And then, make a round or row of single crochet all around the bottom part of our onesie. Yan, paikot siya, pababa, papunta sa kabilang side, ikot ulit tayo, pababa, paakyat, hanggang marating natin kung saan tayo nagsimula. Now, once na complete na natin, i-slip stitch lang natin siya doon sa first single crochet, lock, and cut the excess yarn. Now, gumawa ko ng lettering ni Pooh. I'll make a separate video for this, but I'll put on the description box yung written pattern para masundan nyo. Madali lang naman siya. Now, ini-stitch ko siya gamit ang needle at ito na yung naging itsura niya. Now, meron akong part na nawala during editing, yung neckline. Ang ginawa ko lang dito ay naglagay lang ako ng edging na single crochet mula doon sa likod, and then pagdating doon sa neckline, another row of one double crochet on each stitch, paikot sa neckline, and then pababa ulit sa back yung ating one single crochet pababa din. And then naglagay lang ako ng button sa back at saka doon sa ilalim, doon sa may crotch area ng ating onesie. So, natapos na natin yung ating onesie, and I'll put on the description box yung link para sa baby booty. You can also follow me on my Instagram account and Facebook page. Thank you!